Welcome in this reportage of the Executive Committee. Tonight's show will be about one of the most widespread scientific phenomena, which is used by many of us every day. I name the photovoltaic effect. Behind that phenomenon are many hidden, complex theories developed over the years. Let's have a look at them. But what is the photovoltaic effect about? To help you understand this, let's have a look at the microscopic scales by means of archival videos. Welcome back in the 60s.
To understand the photovoltaic effect, many notions are needed, starting with the concept of the semiconductor. It's a material that has a conduction band and a valence band separated by what is known as a band gap, a gap where the electrons can be present. The semiconductor materials are used in photovoltaic cells for the conversion of luminous energy into electrical energy. The photons that make up light can, if they have more energy than the band gap's energy, lead to forming an electron-hole pair. An incident photon with sufficient energy transmits its energy to an electron, allowing it to cross the band gap. The valence band has therefore a hole, and the conduction band is likely to conduct current. This current is the principal consequence of the photovoltaic effect. We want to exploit that current for the evolution of science. To prevent the recombination of the electron-hole pair, the semiconductor is doped. N or P doping is made on a material by adding atoms containing respectively one more or one less electron. A photovoltaic cell is composed of an N-doped upper layer and a P-doped lower layer. The juncture between these two layers, so-called depletion region, prevents the recombination of the electron-hole pair. The holes and electron in excess in the doped material recombine in the depletion region to form an equilibrium and an electric field that will have a double effect. It prevents the recombination of the electron-hole pair and sends the electrons in the N region and the holes in the P region when forming the electron-hole pairs.
Professor Schrödinger, I heard that an electron has to take some special amount of energy. Is it true? Can you tell us more about it, please?
Yeah, for sure. But where are my glasses? Give me yours.
But wait, I can't say anything now.
Yeah, get away.
If you use my equation using Bloch theorem and Kronig-Penis model, that simplified a complex quantum mechanical system by an infinite sequence of potential barrier, you have that. So, after all this, you've got this equation, and it's quite childish to say that the graph of this function looks like. You have to take the value between -1 and 1, and these intervals are the permitted band of energy for a particle.
Okay, thank you very much. This is really good, Professor Schrödinger, but please give me my glasses back now.
Oh, thank you.
We now know what a photovoltaic effect is. It is fine, but apart from that, what do these solar panels look like? Firstly, let's rather speak about solar cells, as the panel merely is an assembly of cells. In order to explain the modeling of conventional cell, let's have a look at Tom and Jerry, two engineer experts, explanations.
The circuit is made of a current source, which represents the current generated by the electron-hole phenomenon induced by elimination of intensity IPH. While in parallel with the diode, its P-N junction modelizes the behavior of the cell, and a shunt resistance which represents the parasitic currents due to the cell defaults. The whole is connected in series with a resistance Rs. This simple circuit allowed us to modelize and to compute the behavior of a photovoltaic cell with varying parameters as temperature or light intensity.
If we consider a conductible material, there is in fact no gap, and the electrons can directly contribute to the conductivity. By opposition, The gap of an insulating material is really wide and the electrons can't travel through it. But the gap of a semiconductor material is tight enough so the electrons can travel through the gap from the valence band to the conduction band.
Now that we know what the photovoltaic effect is and what a conventional cell looks like, let's have an overview of the technologies associated with photovoltaics. To this end, we received two researchers from Boston College, Pierre and Harry. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, photovoltaic panels are used to produce electricity for many applications. For the space research, for instance, our satellites and robots are continually powered by large surfaces of panels. And most commonly, they are used to power habitations or public distribution networks.
But is this technique very efficient?
This technique is not the most efficient yet, because it's necessary to reduce the cost of produced electricity. And there's still research is to be led in some sectors.
Have you some examples of current technological progress?
We've developed solar panels that transforms infrared waves into electricity. We call that thermophotovoltaic panels.
Thank you very much for your explanation, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Let's summarize what we've learned during this documentary. These panels reflect the main application of the photovoltaic effect discovered by Hertz and explained by Einstein. Their efficiency is not yet optimal for the current technology. In fact, their performance is only of 15% on average, and the cost of the most efficient panel is still relatively high. This sector will be covered by young engineers whose goal is to find the best solutions for the future. Fortunately, we can be confident in them. Proof in pictures. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.